If you want to jump higher, you need to surf this thing right here over the course of the year. It's called the force velocity curve. This is low force, this is high force. This is zero velocity, and then this is higher velocity, and then this is zero velocity, and this is higher velocity in the other direction. This side of the curve represents an eccentric muscle contraction. That's when your muscle is lengthening under tension. Think about what your quad is doing when you're lowering in a squat. And then this side of the curve represents a concentric muscle contraction, and that's when your muscle is shortening under tension. So think about what your quad is doing as you raise up on the squat. The faster you perform a movement, the lower the force is gonna be in a concentric muscle action. However, in an eccentric muscle contraction, the faster you perform the movement, the higher the force is going to be. So think about in a sprint. As your foot makes contact with the ground on a sprint, your body's gonna experience extremely high forces. This is actually part of the reason why plyometrics are so effective, is because you're able to lower your body with way higher forces than you would ever see in a concentric muscle action. Now, what do I mean by we need to surf this thing? So on the concentric side, we wanna surf the force velocity curve that way, and on the eccentric side, we wanna surf it this way. How do we do that? Well, you just gotta choose the right exercises. What's an exercise that has very low velocity and very high forces? A heavy back squat. Now, what's an exercise that has medium velocity and medium high forces? A power clean, right? With each of those two exercises, we can do variations that shift it farther this way as the year goes on. And you can just flip the curve, and those exercises are gonna be doing the same thing on the eccentric side, going this way. Something that would be extremely high eccentric forces and very high velocity would be single leg bounding. You're gonna have extremely high forces, low ground contact times, very high specificity, especially if you're a 1-footer. Now, let's say 2-foot jumping is here and 1-foot jumping is here. Exercises that mimic these forces and these velocities are gonna be better for 2-foot jumping. And the more you can mimic the forces and velocities in a 1-foot jump, the more specific it's gonna be as well. The more transfer it's gonna have, the higher you're gonna jump. Now, you don't wanna be doing this stuff for too long because you'll get hurt.